Hello everybody and welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 3. I'm back with Jordan again as ever, and today we are doing a creepypasta one, aren't we, Jordan? We're doing Dear David.
Yes, we are. Just for the audio listeners, I just was completely silent then, or staring at Katie. We're doing Dear David. We thought we'd do a reading of the what's the best way of describing
infamous. Oh, I don't know about infamous.
It was a Twitter thread by a guy, Adam Ellis, on Twitter, who went by Moby Dickhead, which I think is a great name.
Oh yes, Moby.
Yeah, that's who he was when he put it out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it was I think it was like a publicity thing, but
it doesn't feel like that long ago. It's crazy.
When was it? 2017.
17, yeah.
Fucking hell! You think about that being that was 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So
that was before COVID. You guys remember that?
3 years before COVID. So we're going to do a reading of this, and there's going to be some pictures, videos, and audio that Katie's going to have fun trying to fit in to that, and I'm going to have a fucking hard time trying to fit into the podcast, and what the process here is going to be is I'm going to do a reading of it, and so we both got ADHD, so if we can both try not to interrupt each other.
It happens, we're used to it. Exactly. We don't care.
So don't get annoyed if you're listening back or watching back.
Don't think that we hate each other.
Yeah,
I mean, we do.
Deviate. Yeah, that's true. So you're doing it now. if we deviate from what we're reading, then we'll probably come back to it, or we'll talk about something else halfway through. So this would be a good start. Right, this might be a little bit longer of an episode as well, because I don't think this will all fit into 30 minutes. So my apartment is currently being haunted.
Haunted?
So my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child who's trying to kill me. So this is a thread that he's done. He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting on the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge misshapen head and was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it. Now I've sent you that.
Yeah, I've got the picture up, yeah.
So that will come up, but the best way of describing it is a Stewie from Family Guy with a big head with a dent in it.
Yeah, but the head is also like lumpy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the picture will be up on the video version. Okay. For a while, he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling toward the bed. I couldn't move because I was paralysed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often. It sucks. Right before he reached my bed,
that was?
Yeah, that's true. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights later. I had to clear my phone. I had another dream a few nights later where I was in the library and a girl came up to me and said, You've seen Dear David, haven't you? I was like, who? And she said, Dear David, you saw him. She continued, he's dead. He only appears at midnight. And you can ask him 2 questions if you said Dear David first. And then she added, but never try to ask him a 3rd question or he'll kill you. I was very shaken. Having 2 dreams about the same thing is pretty weird. Anyway, a couple of weeks passed without incident. Then David came back in another dream. Same situation. I was in bed, he was sitting on the rocking chair near the window, staring at me. In the dream, I said, Dear David, how did you die? He mumbles, an accident in a store. I say, Dear David, what happened in the store? He groans. A shelf was pushed on my head. I'm frozen with fear. I ask, Who pushed the shelf? David doesn't answer. I realise that I asked the third
Oh
question,
no.
which I'm not supposed to do. At that point, I wake up absolutely terrified. The next couple of days, I Google deaths in the city and can't find anything about a kid named David dying in a store. I even tried different names: Daniel, Dylan, Devon. Nothing. A few years go by without incident. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated. Fuck!
You said it right.
No, it vacated. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated, and I have an opportunity to move into it. It is a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled. Another month or two goes by, and I sort of forget about dear David. I think he lost track of me because I moved upstairs. But lately, something strange is happening. For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight and just stare at it, almost like something is on the other side. And there's a picture here as well, which I've sent you as well.
Yeah, that is creepy.
And the picture is 2 cats looking under the door, like there would be something on the other side, which is quite a
Anytime
creepy
that
picture.
cats interact with stuff, it always, or animals in general, it's always
Yeah.
very spooky to me. Because there's
Scary.
that idea that they can see things that we can't see.
Yeah. Oh, just a bit of a tangent. Last weekend when we were dog sitting, on the Saturday night, she slept on the bed with us all night.
Yeah.
But at one point, she just started barking at the corner of the room, and it scared me. I really
Yeah.
didn't like it. But then she stopped. Yeah. Right. Last night, I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side. When I opened the door and turned on the hallway light, nothing was there, but my cat seemed unnerved, bushy tails, etc.
Ooh.
And that's where I am right now. Dear David found me, I think. I don't know what to do. I'll keep you updated. And then, so that was the 7th of August 2017. So now the 9th of August.
For the 6th night in a row, my cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and stared at it. Oh, he's actually got the clock there as well.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And
Okay.
then, so there's a video there as well. So if we
Yeah.
watch this video, so I'm
Okay.
ready.
Meowing at it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a cat. He could just want to go out.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like trying to. It looks like he's trying to open the door.
Or at least see behind it.
Yeah.
Maybe not
exactly.
necessarily go out, just... Meow.
Yeah. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because I'm too scared to open the door. I feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell, so I mustered the courage to open the door. Nothing was out there, but I took another photo. Look at this. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so to...
Is it just... Yeah, I'll just say this. Is it just me, or is there something in the first photo hiding where the banister meets the shelves, hiding on the stairs?
So I'm looking at the first picture, and what it is, so it's a shot through a peephole, and on the other side of the peephole, you've got some stairs that come up, and then like a shoe rack shelf thing, and it looks like there's like a little shadow just peeping around. And
Yeah,
then
only just. Yeah.
Yeah, the second photo is taken from the other side of the door, and there's nothing there.
Like, my first initial thought was that, like, seeing that dirt on the wall, but obviously that's probably just on the glass.
Yeah.
And then I vaguely saw the like shape.
The shape. Yeah. It's a shape basically. It's a little shape, like sort of like an elbow pointing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth like bringing up the exposure on that or something. I could try that. See if I can see anything more. But yeah. I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something, so I took a second photo from the inside. There was something out there. Oh, and if you see in the next picture, it's gone. Because it could almost be, because it's like a misshapen. It could like be Dear David's head, because it's slightly like lumpy.
Yeah.
I deadbolted the lock and I got into bed because I don't know what else to do. I can still hear my cat meowing at the door. I'm pretty scared. Picture of the cat with the glowing eyes.
Yeah.
That's enough to give anyone nightmares.
Exactly.
Alright, and this is Thursday, August the 10th. It's been pretty quiet tonight. I'm gonna try out a sleep talk app to see if anything happens during the night. I'm heading to bed, but the cats are back at the door. They only do this at the middle of the night. It's routine now. See, that's uncomfortable. Only doing it in the middle of the night. That's weird. I don't like that.
And he says that it's like routine now as well. So
clockwork.
Constantly doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he posted that at 5 a.m. So he's obviously been up a while from it. Alright, and now we have a video.
Yeah.
Here we go. A few minutes before midnight.
Big cat yawn.
Big cat yawn. Meow. It's hard to describe their behaviour, really.
Yeah.
They're so chatty as well.
Exactly. That cat's got that cat's got 3 legs.
Has it?
I'm sure it has. Look at that's a tangent, but go to like 20 seconds. Watch it from 20 seconds. Like, look at the way it moves. It like hops and then falls over on. Yeah, it's only got 3 legs.
Aw, baby.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, it has. Oh, what a sweetheart. Yeah. Oh, it's so cute the way it just throws itself on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain that kind of behaviour. It's almost like he's trying to, because cats will only meow to humans apparently. They don't really meow to other things. So I don't know if he's trying to get Adam's attention or anything.
Yeah. Same as a misshapen boy outside.
They're both there now. I don't even know if this is the right kind of salt. He's salted it.
So he's like salted the door, yeah. Maybe that's just normal table salt.
Yeah. Just get Himalayan salt. Pink salt on there.
Yeah.
Maxwell is extra talkative tonight. He's obviously trying to tell me something.
So that's the same video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Friday the 11th.
I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It makes individual recording each time it hears something. There were 33 recordings. Shit, 33.
Jesus.
Most of them are pretty vague. A couple of them are passing cars and the like, but there are 3 that I'm interested in. Okay, so it was rounded up to 3. The first is a snapping sound and what seems to be a single step. It's odd because I didn't get out of bed all night. Okay, so I'm going to play this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a snap. Listen to that.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of a... It immediately plays the next one, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It kind of might remind me of like a crackling of a fire, really.
Yeah.
It's a really weird clip.
It's like that.
Yeah.
And then like a very, very light step.
Oh no, it kind of... I'm replaying it. It does kind of sound like a knock. But it could be the cats as well.
Yeah, that's true. It could be the cats.
Oh, stop playing the next one, bloody
hell.
Yeah. This is weird because out of 33 recordings, this is the only one that has a strange electric sound. Static. Okay, so this is the next one. I'll play this.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Straight into Bo Burnham after that.
I know, yeah, that's why I paused it. But so yeah, that kind of... My first thought was like, oh, maybe it's a car outside, but it's too consistent, so it can't be. So it is like a static, because for a recent YouTube video, I downloaded some static noises. And so I was listening to different ones. Like, you know, that light bulb static that happens? Or a TV static?
Like fluorescent lights.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
And then This directly follows the electric static. Another snap, and then I groan in my sleep.
Is it him groaning?
Yeah. Snap, then a groan.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Is that definitely him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be the cats, but unless he doesn't sleep in the same room with them.
No, that's true.
This happened between 2 to 3 a.m. I have no explanation for them. I'll keep recording and share if I find anything curious.
So
Getting
then
the F out of my apartment for this weekend.
he's taking a picture.
Peace out. He's off.
So let's go to the. So a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt. Go to there, because this is another interesting bit with the Polaroid camera.
Wait, it doesn't work for me. This page does not exist.
Oh no, don't worry about that. Where it says I have no explanation for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, go a bit further down. So it says a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt.
Okay, right.
And then follow it from there.
I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend because they're dorky and fun. I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. As in, nice camera. Polaroids are stupid and fun. Inherently sort of creepy. I didn't expect to find anything. For the most part, I didn't. I took a couple of photos in my living room and my bedroom, and this is the rocking chair I first saw David in. They're pretty unremarkable. Okay, so there's 2 pictures up there.
Yeah.
Just general pictures of his room. Then I went into the hallway and snapped a photo, and the Polaroid developed completely black. Now, Jordan is a photographer. Can you tell us anything about that?
So I've used Polaroid cameras a lot of times, and usually what happens when they come out completely black is that they've been sitting in the camera for too long and they've sort of started to expire. But you would notice it's a different kind of color when they start to expire. It's more that the ink is sort of wearing away. I would have one on hand. Do I have one on hand?
I don't know if it's the way that he's holding it as well. I guess it could be shiny, but it looks completely
Well,
matte.
this is the thing. So let me have a look, see if I've got one that's sort of fading.
Yeah, isn't it more like a faded grey rather than a pure black?
Yeah, that's exactly
Okay.
it. So, here we go. This is, hopefully you can see that. This is a picture I took in
Bump
my
it up
flat.
just a little bit because of the white.
Me-
Oh, there you go. Yeah, perfect.
Might not be able to. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is a picture I took in my flat. I think around about one of the times you came over. But this big bit of black here
Yeah.
is where the film has expired.
Okay.
And then this bit up here is where it's like the film started to come away, because basically what happens is the light hits this, which then takes the picture and lets it all develop. But it won't come up here because the ink has started to come away from the base.
Okay, so
this black is very similar to the black that is in his picture. And then this is the actual picture itself.
But
So
realistically, it
be-
wouldn't have done the entire image. It would have like done a little bit because he was able to take pictures before and they came out fine.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. So as you go down...
It should have been gradual.
Yeah, so it should have been gradual, and then he goes... So as he goes down, he says, I even ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack to see if it was just an undeveloped Polaroid. And Polaroids start off completely white. But he says here, I ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack. So he's opened a new pack. So it could be that this one that he had was just a bad Polaroid of the pack, basically. Yeah. But it is spooky because a bit later on.
But would bad Polaroids actually do like the full thing black, like rather than what you just showed, like a little bit of like you know, like the slight brown on the edge and a little bit of the picture?
I reckon there's a chance, but I haven't experienced it. I've only ever had, I've only ever had ones on the corner, and then let me get up another one as well. So this picture of me, the
There
Polaroid,
he is.
the Polaroid was starting to
Yeah, the
expire,
spot.
so
Yeah.
then I got like a black spot there,
Okay.
and then like a bit at the bottom.
Yeah,
So it's
but it's not the entire thing.
no, it's not the entire thing.
Could it be the back? Could you have just shown a picture of the back of the picture?
Well, so that's the back of a Polaroid.
Yeah.
This makes great audio. And you see, so you can see the front of the picture.
Because it's black
like,
on the back.
It's all completely matte and smooth on here, yeah?
Mm.
And even on these little ones. But on the back, you've got, this might be hard to see, you've got little ridges.
Yeah. Like some kind of padding? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's obviously just
What is it?
where to hold it. And I think it's like development. I don't really know. But you would know the difference from the front and the back from just the way the thing goes. And I've got a few of the versions of Polaroid that he has. I've got those downstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're the same. They've got those little ridges on the bottom.
Okay.
So yeah. So I even opened and destroyed a fresh pack to see if it was just undeveloped Polaroid, but they all started out white. I also thought maybe I accidentally covered the lens with my finger, so I took a photo while intentionally covering it.
Oh,
yeah, and
okay. Yeah.
It's a different...
So the one he took before is pure black, but then the one with his thumb over it, you can see like splodges.
Yeah, so it could have been just a missed development. Like it just didn't develop. Sometimes you do get one out of like every couple of packs, one Polaroid that's just like, fuck it.
The chances of that is pretty crazy.
And it depends on how old the pack is as well. Because I had a pack of Polaroid film, that first one I showed you, that had been in my camera for a while. So when I took that picture, that's why that's come out like that.
Yeah.
Because it was starting to go. But anyway, so this could be nothing. I'm not sure what to make of it. Okay, one last thing. No. Okay, one last thing, because I wanted to double check. Here's a couple video of me taking photos. So here he is.
Okay, here's my living room.
So he takes the photo,
and of the fish tank.
Of the fish tank, and it pops it out.
Oh, leave that there.
So he'll leave that to develop.
Did you not need to leave it in the dark?
You don't need to, but you get the best results. So that for the best results, here's a little bit of photography insight. The best results,
lore.
if you what you did with Polaroid cameras is Acast. No, not Acast. That's what we used. Outcast in Hey Ya.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying this. You're not meant to do this.
Yeah, you don't shake it. The best place to put it is under your armpit. Because the heat from under your armpit.
I remember you doing that with the picture of me and Toby.
Yeah, makes the development. Yeah, I think I got that picture here. Makes the photo develop. There we go. There she is.
Look at that.
It makes the photo develop quicker and a lot nicer compared to some of the others because of the heat and the dark. But yeah, you can leave it out in the open. It just takes a bit longer,
right?
And you might not get the best results.
Yeah.
And then he did one of the hallway. So he opens the door.
Okay. Now I'm gonna take a photo.
Still opening the door. There you go. He's opened the door.
Just to show you
the light is on outside.
What that's like.
Yeah, so then he'll take the picture outside in the hallway. That pops out.
And as you can see, the first one
and the other one
has already developed.
Is developed.
So let's see what this one does.
Yeah, close that door, don't let him in.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a minute.
God, he's really just
He's gonna record all
waiting.
of it.
Yeah.
There's a cat in the background.
But it is developing black.
Oh yeah, so it's developing
interesting.
completely black.
What?
Yeah.
That's really interesting to see.
And that's just from the hallways.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Okay. I don't know. And it came out
What?
totally black again for a second time. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still fucking around with this camera. There might be a logical explanation. Someone told me to take photos from further away, so I tried. Once with my iPhone and once with the Polaroid camera. Left is with my phone, right is with the Polaroid. The hallway light was on both times. Why is it pitch black each time in the Polaroid? See, that's so Polaroids are really like they create like quite a high contrast.
Right, but that's too much, surely.
Yeah, especially in a room with no light on the inside. So the flash would have generated. See, this is the thing. Because he's inside a room and he's got the flash on, that flash will set the exposure for the rest of the picture. So the flash has gone off in the room, so all the light in the room has then bounced back to the camera to create that picture.
Right.
Which, so it's kind of hard, because the light can't travel through into the hallway and bounce around those walls to come back, it would make the hallway dark. But he says the light was on, so there'll at least be a little bit of light.
Yeah, it should be at the very least like that murky, splodgy thing that was in the other one, surely.
Exactly. But
I feel like you would at least see the beam. You see that beam that comes across from the light that creates a shadow
there
underneath
would be
it.
I would think there would be something.
Yeah.
I don't have any examples on this one, unfortunately. But yeah, it's still weird.
Yeah.
This whole thread has really This whole thread has been really convoluted, and I'm sorry if it's hard to follow. I just thought it was all weird and wanted to share. And then he's people have told him to start saging the room, so he has, and the staircase and the rocking chair. Honestly, sage doesn't seem like it helped much, but I'm open to anything. I barely slept last night. I kept waking up feeling like something was wrong, but who knows? Maybe this will do something.
Sage did not work.
Yeah.
Confirmation.
I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, and I could see David sitting in the chair across the room. He was smaller this time, almost shrunken. He didn't do or say anything except look at me. Anyway, it feels like a bad omen. It's been 2 weeks and he still does this every night at midnight. So the three-legged cat is back at the door.
He senses something's up.
Yeah. Other weird stuff has been happening too. I've been recording myself sleeping, and it's picked up this weird static electricity sound every night at 3 a.m, which lasts about 5 minutes. This morning, I woke up to the whole house shaking. It felt like a small earthquake.
Oh my God.
I debated even mentioning that on Twitter, because it sounds made up, but I distinctly felt the house swaying. It's just a whole bunch of small things happening at once. I feel so uneasy, like right before a thunderstorm comes. Everyone is telling me to move, but I don't have any guarantee that this won't follow me. They just issued a thunderstorm warning for tonight, so there's there's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming.
All this ghost stuff has been spooky, but this past weekend for the first time I actually felt unsafe in my home. On Friday night there was supposed to be a huge storm. In the end it passed, but the night was bizarre anyway. I fell asleep pretty early. I was incredibly tired for some reason. I had a dream that night where David was dragging me by the arm around an old abandoned warehouse. I'm not sure why I didn't fight back in the dream, or how he was strong enough to pull me, but that's dream logic for you. It was a creepy dream, but I didn't think much of it when I woke up. I took a shower, and then I noticed something. I'd woken up with a huge bruise on my arm.
Oh God. Wait, I don't even see it.
It's sort of by his wrist. Just up from his wrist, there's like a little dark patch.
I guess.
I wouldn't say huge bruise.
No, I don't
I'd say
see
bruise.
it. The comments are like, no way, get out. I don't see
Yeah.
shit, but
Now look, maybe I injured myself the night before, and my arm was
I'm
hurting
always
during the
covered in
night.
bruises.
That's true. Which manifested as a dream. There could be a totally logical explanation for it, so I brushed it off. I went to get coffee, which I do every weekend. When I walk to the coffee place, I pass a food cart repair depot. It's always incredibly busy, especially on weekends. I lived in the neighborhood for over 4 years, and the place has always been jam-packed with carts getting serviced. But today, it was completely abandoned, and the whole warehouse was totally gutted and empty. Oh, it's
That is weird.
that's like a back rooms.
Yeah, which we will be doing an episode on because I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with backrooms.
Exactly. Well, almost empty. I went inside to look around because I was astonished that this place was suddenly empty after all these years. Basically, the only thing in the entire warehouse was a single green chair. If you recall, David had first appeared in my green rocking chair. It could be nothing, but it's weird that it's the only thing left behind.
Green? It looks
Green?
black. It looks black to me.
Green? Make the picture bigger. It's like a dark green, close to
Yeah,
black.
but his chair is like bright green.
Oh yeah, his green is bright chair.
His bright
what?
chair green. All right,
On my way-
I'll allow it.
I'll
I'll
allow
allow
it. I'm sure Adam is going to be.
There you go, Adam. You're right.
On my way back from coffee, the warehouse had been shuttered. It's remained shuttered since. The chair, my bruise, dreaming about an empty warehouse and then passing one, it gave me the creeps. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much that night. Too many strange things are happening, and more frequently. So I don't know. Anyway, strange weekend.
I don't know if I would like connect the dots in the way that he's doing. You can tell that he's like an extremely anxious state of mind because your brain is gonna like pick up on all these subtle things going on that usually if you're like in a secure mind you wouldn't even acknowledge it, because like the chair I would not have like considered it. I don't know. It just wouldn't have
chair, yeah.
I wouldn't have, but that's just me, I guess. I'm oblivious.
There have been a few small developments in my apartment, but I'm not sure what to make of them. I just know I'm scared. If you recall, my cats usually gather at the door at midnight, but lately it's been getting earlier and earlier each night.
Oh.
I was almost used to my routine, so when they started to cry at the door closer to 10 p.m, I was confused. They began a new routine, hovering around the door at 10 p.m, cry for 15 minutes, and then wander off as if nothing's wrong.
What? Like they were possessed and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, anyway, carry on.
That's it.
Carry on being a cat.
But this week, something else has been happening. Shortly after the usual stuff, around 10:30 or so, I start getting phone calls from an unmarked number.
Oh.
My entire call history for the past week looks like this.
Oh, I
You'll
don't like
notice
that.
I answered once yesterday.
I do not like
and
that.
it's just no caller ID, 2 on
Yeah.
Wednesday, 4, it says yesterday. Since this has
No
been
number.
happening for days on end, I thought it might be an automated telemarketer or something. Usually, if it's an automated thing, you answer once and they quit calling, so I picked up. Instead, all I heard on the other end was a peculiar electrical static sound, very similar to the static in my sleep app picks up at night. I didn't say anything, I just listened, waiting for some automated message to chime in. After about a minute, the static stopped and there was silence. I kept listening. I heard what I thought was breathing, but it was so faint I couldn't be sure. My heart was racing, so it was hard to hear. Then, just as I was about to hang up, I heard a very small voice whisper, "Hello."
Oh, that's not nice. No. Oh dear.
Something about the way they said hello freaked me out. It wasn't a question or a greeting. Just hello, a flat statement.
Hello?
So quiet I could so quiet I could barely hear it. Hello? I panicked and hung up. I didn't know what else to do. I closed all the curtains in my apartment and turned on every single light. I watched TV until dawn because I was too scared to go to sleep. I sort of feel like I'm losing my mind. If I look at each individual incident on its own, there are perfectly logical explanations for everything. But after 3 weeks of weird shit happening, I don't know how to make sense of it all. The only thing I like The only thing I feel like I can do right now is write everything down. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'll keep doing.
So yeah, he's moved the green chair out of the bedroom. It's been in various parts of the living room ever since. Going back, say like that's how bright the chair is. The chair is super bright. I would not.
Yeah, it's like a lime green.
It's very odd looking. It is actually a rocking chair, but it's like a modern rocking chair.
Yeah.
I should probably get rid of it, but I'm not sure if that would have any effect. Also, I'm going on vacation to Japan in 3 weeks, and I keep thinking if I can make it to my trip, this will all end, as dumb as that sounds. Oh, really? David lost track of me once when I moved, so maybe if he believes I've left the apartment again, he'll leave me alone. Don't know if it works like that. Anyway, last week I bought a pet monitoring camera so I can keep an eye on the cats while I'm overseas. It's basically a nanny cam that connects to the Wi-Fi, so you can check in whenever you want. It runs 24/7. It also alerts you to sound and movement via the app. I blacked out the company since I doubt they want to be associated with ghosts. Okay, so it's even said that there's motion detection, sound detection, which could be the cats,
Yeah.
I guess. But in any event, I decided to test it out this weekend. I was away from home one night, so I set up the camera before I left. My phone pinged periodically throughout the evening, alerting me to the cats running around playing with stuff. Normal stuff. Then, around 11, it alerted me again that it detected motion, but when I checked to see the feed in my apartment, I didn't see anything. So I watched the feed again, still nothing. I watched it a third time and finally noticed something. Watch the chair. Okay, so there's a video.
Okay. Watching the chair. Oh, it started
It's
rocking.
It's rocking, yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's really rocking as well.
Yeah.
So he's put it in... Is that his front door as well? He's put it in front of the front door.
Yeah, he's put it like right next to the front door
Interesting.
where he took the photo.
Yeah. I like his bookshelf. The plants.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. Oh, it's still going. Anything else?
Yeah, then it sort of stops after that.
I don't like it with cameras as well. If it's filming a dark spot, the pixels sometimes go up and down. Do you see that? Like if you go full screen, you can see like the pixels going up and down, and it really trips me out. Like in the like bluey area.
Yeah, so that's noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah. When it's dark, it's just sort of the camera's way of compensating for the light, and it's just
Yeah.
like there's nothing for me to pick up here.
I knew it couldn't be the wind because I haven't had the windows open at all this summer. I have AC and I like to keep it chilly. It was unnerving, but there wasn't anything I could do about it right then. So I flipped the phone off and tried not to panic. About half an hour later, I got another motion alert. Here's the feed of that alert. Oh, the light changed.
Yeah, there's a light on in the.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what happened there? Something on the bookshelf?
Oh, something dropped down from above the bookshelf at 10 seconds.
Wait, what is that?
It's just like something he's got on the wall.
It looks like a monitor or something?
Or it could just be like a piece of art or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little turtle shell that he hung on the wall.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
if you missed it the first time like me, look above the shelf. It's a little turtle shell that I hung on the wall. Yeah, so it just drops down. Yes, I know
Yeah.
it's weird to own a turtle shell, but my family lives in Montana, so I picked it up last year at a native trading post. Well, it's gorgeous. I don't think it's that weird. I've got skulls on my wall.
Yeah.
So, since I've been back home, I've been too nervous to turn the camera on, and today has been pretty quiet. That said, I feel pretty uneasy. I put the chair in the hall. I hope nothing else happens tonight. It's happening again. I've been leaving the nanny cam on 24/7. It records every time there's a movement or sound, as you know. I was going over the feed from this weekend and noticed some weird stuff. During the night on Saturday while I slept, it recorded the cats in the living room. It seemed pretty unremarkable at first. But then, after a few moments, Maxwell freaks out and jumps over something invisible. So the video of the cats.
See, look, there's the one-legged cat.
Yeah, little baby. They look a bit confused.
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, he's jumped.
Oh,
He's jumped backwards.
yeah. The
Oh,
fact
a
he's
jar
jumped
moved.
backwards- Oh yeah,
The
and
jar
the jar
moved. And
The cat then
he's
looks
looked
at
at
the
it.
jar.
Yeah. The black cat did not care.
Yeah.
Black cat did not acknowledge anything.
No.
Oh wait, did he look? He might have looked. Yeah, they both looked. I don't think it was a bug or anything. Maxwell doesn't react like that with bugs. He just eats them. Something spooked him. Did he not notice? What's more,
Dunno.
I never get bugs. I've seen maybe 3 in the years I've lived here. He didn't notice the jar moving.
No.
Anyway, the next night the camera recorded a couple more strange videos. Specifically, it recorded Maxwell doing this on and off for hours.
So he's on the sofa.
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
he's sitting
on
up.
his back legs.
Yeah. The jar's gone this time. He's moved it. He'd sit up on his hind legs and peer around the room as if looking for something, or looking at something. This is odd behaviour for him. I can't come up with an explanation for it, especially because of the next video. The final video the camera recorded. Okay, so he's up on his legs again. Oh, that's weird behaviour for a cat.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just... Oh, he's swatting at something.
Yeah. That's really odd.
I mean, yeah, it could be a bug, because it's moving around.
Yeah. It could be like a fly
I just
or something.
I don't know if a cat would really react that odd to like a bug or something, like on its hind legs or that. My cat would just like acknowledge it and maybe swat at it, but he wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I suppose there's a chance it was a fly, but I honestly never get flies, so that seems unlikely. I can't shake the feeling that something has made its way into the apartment. It's odd behaviour from Maxwell. In any event, things feel off this week. I can't explain it. I've been having so many nightmares lately. There's way more intense than usual. Dreams too. I don't know if it's because I'm stressed or if there's something else. This afternoon I took a nap and I had a dream and I haven't been able to shake it. In the dream, I was lying in bed. I rolled over to face the other direction. On the pillow next to me was a severed head with a bloody spine attached, snaking down to the bed. The head was staring right at me. Somehow still alive, it had this huge smile plastered on its face. Horrified, I screamed, "What happened to you?" The head smiled even bigger. "It feels great," the head groaned. After that, I woke up. It was dark outside then. Everything was quiet. Other dreams have been just as strange, things like dark figures staring in my windows, even though I live on the second floor. Stuff that makes no sense in relation to what I've been experiencing in real life. After that dream about the head, I've been feeling uneasy all night. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided to go for a walk, if for no other reason than to get out of my apartment. I went to Bodega, a few blocks away,
a bodega.
to get a snack. On the way, I had to pass the warehouse that was boarded up a few weeks ago. It's actually on the way to everything. I pass it twice a day just to get to the subway. I hurried past it. It still freaks me out. At the bodega, I got some Doritos and a seltzer, and I made my way back home. When I passed the warehouse a second time, I heard a dull thunk from the other side of the shutters. I froze in place, but there was no sound after that. I probably should have just continued on, but curiosity got the better of me. There was a grated window next to the doors, a foot above my head, too high to see into. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna hold my phone up to the window, take one photo and then run for my life. I made sure the flash was on, positioned my camera's lens through one of the grates, and I snapped the photo. I almost thought I saw movement, then the flash went off, but I couldn't be certain. The light bounced off the grates and I was pretty blinding. I couldn't even look at the photo. I just ran all the way home and I was jumpy to look at it for a while. I just ate my Doritos nervously. When I finally looked at the photo, here's what I saw. It seemed to be a different part of the warehouse, maybe an office. There was a bunch of old insulin and what looked like a filing cabinet ripped up on the leather desk chair. So there's just a picture of
Oh yeah, it's
that.
like insulation.
Yeah.
On the chair.
I mean, I can't really see a great deal. Then I noticed something else. In the upper right corner, something that looked like a face. The more I stare at it, the more it started to look like a nondescript blur. Now I can't even be sure what I'm seeing. I mean, I don't see anything.
No, I'm struggling.
So it could be his anxiety
Yeah.
playing tricks on him. I mean, if I'm honest, it kind of looks like something could even be peeking out the door, but it's just subtle. Like it looks like a shape of a head and then like wearing a dress, but if I'm really pushing, but only lightly.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too deep into this and my brain wants to see David when he's not there. But here, I messed with the filters and my phone a bit. Tell me this doesn't look like him. Yeah, I mean, I see a vague shape.
Like a vague outline of
Yeah.
like a skull with like a dent in the top left.
Yeah,
But yeah, not much after
just
that.
a little bit. The past few days have been fairly quiet. I haven't been spending much time at home. I leave for Japan in a couple of hours. I've been trying to avoid anything weird before my trip. I still feel like this might stop if I just leave for a couple of weeks. Whatever happens, I want to thank everyone for their kind thoughts and concerns. This whole ordeal has been stressful and it means a lot. He still hasn't mentioned the jar. Like, that was weird. He didn't pick up on the jar at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me feel like I'm not going through this alone. See you in a couple of weeks. I brought a volative tablet at the shrine in Japan. Please protect my cats while I'm away from home. It's a cute little talisman from the shrine. That's really cute. I like that. It's my last full day in Japan. The past couple of weeks have been pretty peaceful. I have people taking care of the cats and they say they've been doing fine. In the morning I went for a long walk around Sapporo. I never really plan my vacations. I like to wander and see what I can find. I came across this statue in the park. I couldn't find any real information about it online, but it was pretty weird and pretty. It's nice. Cute statue. I was taking pictures of it from different angles since it's cylindrical. I moved around to see one side and almost dropped my phone at what I saw. It felt too similar to be a coincidence. I felt dizzy staring up at it. This kid with a dented head.
Look at it. It was Dear David.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
No, look, that's Dear David. Look at his little fucking face.
Maybe.
He's got a dented head. He's followed him to be a statue in Japan.
I mean, all of the babies on there look a bit lopsided.
They do look a bit Dear David-y, all of them, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe this is nothing. It doesn't feel like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one with the proper, like, lopsided head.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so. Anyway, I have to pack for my flight home in the morning. It will be good to see the cats again at least. There's a picture of him
Aw,
with his,
little
with his
kitty.
cat. Yeah, his three-legged cat. Weird things have been happening with the electricity in my apartment this week. Again, always something happening. First, 2 bulbs have burnt out in the hallway in the last week. At this point, I've just left it alone rather than get a ladder again. But the strangest thing has to do with the backlight in my TV. It's an LED strip that plugs into the TV itself via USB. The TV has been on in order for the backlight. The TV has to be on in order for the backlight to be on. But last night, the backlight was flickering on and off by itself. I noticed it just sometime before dawn, but when I woke up and went into the kitchen to get some water, I'd barely gotten back into bed again when I saw a faint light come on in the living room. After a few seconds, it went dark again. I went back to the living room and stood there watching the backlight go on and off, for at least a few minutes. It was bizarre. Eventually, it stopped, and the backlight doesn't work at all. It's only a couple of months old, so it shouldn't have been dead already. Oh, just opened up Twitter, didn't see that. Anyway, I couldn't get back to sleep. Oh fuck, I've just done it again. Anyway, I couldn't get back to sleep, so I went to the diner near my apartment. It was the only thing open at 4 a.m. And then he had eggs over easy with ham.
That's not a thing we really have over here, is it? Eggs over easy. Over easy?
Yeah, it's just
looks good
just
though.
Fried egg. You fry an egg.
Fried egg on
over.
ham.
Yeah.
Is that like potato next to it?
I think so.
It looks good. Oh.
When I got home, the sun was starting to come up, so I figured I might as well have a shower and then go to work early. I showered and brushed my teeth and then headed into the bathroom to get dressed. As I passed the front door, I thought I heard a faint scratching sound from the other side. It was so soft that I wasn't sure it had really happened.
No.
I went over to the door and I was too scared to look through the peephole. I couldn't bring myself to actually put my face that close to the sound, so I opted to take a photo through the peephole instead. Since there's sunlight just outside my door, the hall was awash with a faint yellow-green light, and I snapped a couple of photos. The first photos didn't seem like anything, just blurry nothingness. But as I analysed it, I started noticing things, parts of a face, an eye, and an ear looking straight back at me. Oh, I can kind of see that. Imagine Gollum. That bit of light in the middle is like is his eye. You know when cats, like when you shine a light in a cat's eye.
Yeah.
Or like when light reflects off a cat's eye, and then you sort of like you look at it at a funny angle. You've got like that light ring, a slight light ring around the outside of it.
I'm just not seeing anything.
To the left of that little light in the bit, you can sort of see the outline of an ear.
Yeah, I see an outline, but it's not registering as an ear.
Oh, it's registered to me as an ear now. I think maybe it's time to get someone else involved. It's obvious this isn't going to stop until I do something. I'm just not sure what it is yet. I'll let you all know when I figure it out. And then
there's
another video. Oh, it's a GIF actually.
Okay.
Oh, he sort of marks it out.
Yeah, I mean that helps a bit.
Picture of the baby.
I'm still not necessarily seeing anything.
Yeah. Sorry for the radio silence the past couple of weeks. First, I had a friend come over and do some cleansing stuff. She did the whole apartment and the hallway. A lot of self-proclaimed professional mediums have reached out, plus about a dozen ghost hunting TV shows. I've declined them all because I didn't really want strangers in my house sensationalizing what's going on.
That's fair.
So instead I had a friend come over and cleanse the place. And for about a week or so, it seemed like it worked. Things appeared to go back to normal. The cats weren't gathering at the door anymore. I stopped having dreams. It was just starting to seem like it was over. Then, one morning last week, I was walking to work and passed the shuttered warehouse door as usual. This time, all the metal door were wide open, sunlight pouring in. The whole warehouse was still mostly empty, except for one thing. There was a hearse parked near the back wall.
Ooh, that is weird.
Spooky.
It's just a picture of a hearse.
Yeah. The warehouse has been closed for over 2 months. I have no idea why it was open that day. Nobody was around. It was weird, but I tried not to think about it. It's not all that strange to see a hearse, I guess. Like, they have to park somewhere. I tried to put it out of my mind, and then the next several days were uneventful. But something else happened last night. It was around 11 or so, and I was watching TV on the couch. I went into the dining room to get a drink from the fridge and noticed both cats sitting by the far window, staring up at it. The window looked out onto the roof of the business next door. I glanced out the window, and I didn't see anything. I figured that maybe there was a mouse in the wall or something. I shrugged and grabbed a beer from the fridge. As I went into the kitchen to get the bottle opener, I noticed something. There's a window in the kitchen which looks out onto the same roof, and someone was standing on the roof staring at me. I immediately ducked down and reached up and flicked the light switch. I peered over the windowsill, and I couldn't see much. My phone was in my pocket, so I grabbed it and took a photo. It was blurry and dark, but I swear someone was out there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I can see it.
Just
I can
see it at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
No.
It
that's
reminds
horrible.
me of like a doll's head, but it's attached to like a larger body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I tried to take a better photo, but the figure had disappeared. I closed all the blinds and made sure the door was locked and then drank like 5 more beers until I was too drunk to be scared. But now I feel like I'm back to square one. I'm sure it was him. He's not going away. I don't know what to do. It's been about 4 months since the first time I dreamed of David. This might be long, but stick with me. Last night I dreamed about him again. It was almost exactly the same as the first time I saw him. In the dream, I saw him in the chair again. I don't have the green chair in my room anymore. This time it was a recliner I've had for years. He was staring right at me, just like the first time. Again, I felt paralyzed and could barely move, but this time something was different. I still feel mostly immobile, but I couldn't squirm but I could squirm just a little bit. I felt more alert. I could move my hands somewhat. David glared at me, and I dreaded what I knew was coming. He was going to get out of the chair and come toward me, like before. I had to do something. I kept my phone next to me on the bed, and somehow I managed to get hold of it. I thought, if David is going to kill me, maybe I can at least get evidence on my phone. I snapped pictures in the dark. Sure enough, he crawled down off the chair and began shuffling toward me. He moved slowly, like it was a struggle for him. I felt terrified, but I kept taking photos. David limped closer toward me, never taking his eyes off me. Soon I was face to face with him. He started muttering something, too quiet for me to understand. I watched it as his eyes rolled back into his head until they were all white. I tried to writhe away from him, but I could barely move. I stared in horror as he began crawling up onto my bed, still murmuring something. And that's when I woke up, same as before, broad daylight, no trace of David anywhere. It's almost routine now, but it was a dream after all. So I got up and went to work, and after a while the stress of the dream melted away. I wasn't even going to write about this, since it wouldn't really be new information, but tonight I noticed something that petrified me. I went onto my phone and to find photos from a couple of days ago, and saw dozens of pitch black photos in my camera roll, all from last night. It's better just to show you. Turn up the brightness because they're pretty dark. Oh, it wasn't a dream. Oh, I don't like that picture at all.
That's horrible.
Oh, so
that is
horrible.
horrible.
For the audio, there's it's a picture from inside, kind of him in his bed, but on the other side of the bed on the chair.
There's like an armchair.
There's like and it looks like a doll.
Yeah.
Is like just sitting looking at him. That is. Oh, I think you scroll down, the one where he's getting off the chair.
Hold on.
That's sort of.
Oh yeah, he's getting up. He's got the dent in his head as well.
Yeah, this is the one that made my heart drop, and he's like on the bed, and the camera's moved.
Yeah.
Usually I can come up with
nasty.
Usually I can come up with some excuse for what's happening, but I have no logical explanation for this. So now I'm sitting here on my couch freaking out. I certainly won't be able to sleep. I just felt like I needed to get out of this. For everyone asking, yes, I'm alive. I've been on the quiet side because there's something I'm trying to investigate and I'm not sure how to yet. I'd rather not tweet unless there's something substantial to share. It's also sort of hard to explain the logistics of what I'm trying to find out, but I'll do my best. Basically, there's a part of my apartment I'm just learning about. At least that's what I think.
Oh.
To refresh your memory, I live in a duplex. I used to live on the first floor, and now I live on the second floor. It's a long, boxy building that looks like this. It's like just like two rectangles stacked on top of each other. The other week, I was tweeting the most recent update from the living room couch. About 30 seconds after I sent the last tweet, I heard a thump directly above my head, as if someone above me had dropped something on the floor, which is impossible since I'm on the top apartment. There's also no way to access the roof. There weren't any ladders on the other side of the building. The only way you'd get to the roof is through the skylight in the hallway. There are no trees in the immediate vicinity either. It definitely wasn't pipes either. It was distinctly the sound of something falling onto the floor. The building was old and makes a lot of noises. And this was a new sound and it startled me. So I'm thinking, is there some sort of secret crawl space in my house? I look over all the apartments and I can't figure it out. So I go into the hallway and that's when something dawns on me. There's no real way to ease into this, so I'll just say it. There's a mysterious hatch in the hallway. I've always known about it, but I just assumed it was directly onto the roof. Oh, it's like a loft hatch.
This is the stuff I remember now.
Yeah.
Because this is where it got really creepy for me anyway.
Yeah. It's really high above the stairs, so I always figured it was impossible to access without some sort of fancy professional ladder. I took this video so you can see how high it was. It was only 9 seconds. That is pretty high up.
Yeah, because it's like over the stairs as well. it's quite
Yeah.
a dangerous position. Like, it's a really bizarre place because, like, how is someone meant to able to have like normal access to that? You're gonna need a really long ladder over the stairs that's gonna
Yeah,
fall like
exactly.
down. It's just a weird place. I don't like it at all.
So I see that hatch every morning when I leave for work and think nothing of it. But this time something dawned on me. It can't lead to the roof because it's actually below the roof. I'm about to spring some simple math on you, so I apologise for advance. First, the skylight is flat with the roof, so I checked Google Earth to make sure, and the hatch is about 3 feet below the skylight, meaning it's about 3 feet of empty space between the two
It's a
openings.
crawl space.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, reloaded. Come on, load the next bit. I think maybe the hatch leads to a short ladder going to the roof. But even if that's the case, the hatch is level with all the ceilings in my apartment. That means there's 3 feet of empty space above my apartment. I was ready to explain this away for a few reasons. One, it might be some sort of insulated space that all residential buildings have. I'm not an architect, so what do I know? It didn't seem relevant enough at the time, so I decided I wasn't going to mention it here. But after the past week and a half, I've been hearing more things above me. A few days after the sound, I heard a similar thump while I was in the kitchen. Then last night, I heard something small clink onto the floor and roll about 6 feet before stopping. Something is going on up there. Maybe it's a raccoon, but maybe it's not. I thought I can't get over the fact that the hatch is in such a weird, inaccessible place over the stairs. I need to investigate. I'm just not sure how. I guess I'll try and buy a long pole off of Amazon and see if the hatch even moves. I might have to buy a construction ladder. At any rate, that's why I've been MIA for a minute. I'll keep you posted when I figure out what is up there.
It's
Yeah, he
just a
buys a
weird
pole.
position. I just don't like how odd and inaccessible it is. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, I know. So he buys a pole. A lot has happened in the last week, but I was away for Thanksgiving, so I'm just gonna now let me try again. A lot has happened in the last week, but I was away for Thanksgiving, so I'm just now able to write it down. The noises from the ceiling haven't let up, but the pole I ordered didn't arrive before I had to leave for the holiday, so I didn't actually get to it until last Friday night. I planned to investigate the next morning and went to bed. I'd barely fallen asleep when I woke up to an incredibly loud crash above me. It sounded like someone had dropped a bowling ball. I bolted upright in bed and immediately felt strange. There was a weird energy around me. I can't explain it. After about a minute I heard another crash and I briefly thought about grabbing my shoes and booking it. But then it would mean passing underneath the hatch, and that seemed like a bad idea. So instead I listened and waited. There's a dog barking outside. Though I'm not sure what for. The crash happened again and then again, probably 15 times in a row, followed by a
Jeez.
long silence. Then I heard a smaller creaking sound from the hallway. In my mind, I registered it as a footstep, but I couldn't really been anything. I stayed still, and there were no more sounds after that. I laid back down, still tense and nervous, but I must have fallen asleep at some point because I woke up the next morning and everything seemed normal again. I got dressed and left to go get a bagel, same as every Saturday. As I made my way down the stairs, something crunched under my feet. I looked down and noticed a small pile of debris on the stairs, directly under the hatch. Oh.
Okay,
There's-
yeah. There's just bits of like dirt on the stairs underneath it.
Oh, bits of dirt. It looked like dirt, but I couldn't tell for certain. It could have been old plaster or something.
It's
I
black
glanced
though.
I glanced up at the hatch and noticed something else peculiar. The edge of something was caught and barely poking out. It's hard to see so far up, but I took a photo.
Yeah,
It's
there's like
yeah.
a bit of cloth or something got under the hatch.
At this point, bagels were the last thing on my mind. I went back upstairs and grabbed the pole. I set my camera on the coat wardrobe at the top of the stairs and hit record, just to make sure it would be caught on camera if a demon burst out of the hatch. Here's the video.
Alright, so I'm gonna give it a poke. Can he even reach it?
Maybe. So, right, he's poking the hatch. It's lifting the hatch. Ah!
Something fell out.
Yeah. Christ, what's fallen?
Oh.
He seems fairly calm.
Yeah.
I jumped out the way and practically fell down the stairs trying to dodge whatever it was that fell. At first I thought it was a dead squirrel, which would honestly explain a lot.
Yeah.
It hit the steps and bounced down on first floor. I went upstairs to get my phone and collapsed the pole. Since it's so long and unwieldy, then went back downstairs to investigate the object that fell. At first I wasn't sure what it was. It was dingy, faded black. I picked it up and realised what it
yeah.
was. It was a small leather shoe.
I don't like that.
Ugh.
I don't like that. It's a
Like a
child's shoe, but it's like old, quite old.
Yeah, it's like a Victorian child's shoe.
Yeah.
I hustled back upstairs and texted my landlord. I told him I thought there was something in the crawl space and asked if he could investigate. He said he'd come over later with a ladder and check it out. A few hours later, my landlord was on a ladder, shining a flashlight into the crawl space. I stared up at him, half expecting something to grab him and yank him into the darkness. He angled his flashlight all around and finally said, "There's nothing up here."
Oh.
And then he was like, "Oh wait." I watched as he reached into the emptiness with his free arm, and when he pulled it back, he had something small and round in his hand. He climbed down the ladder and handed it to me. Again, I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at. It was smooth and shiny, and at first I thought it was an old piece of candy, but it was cold and too heavy to be candy. After a second, I realised it was a marble. It was so worn that it hadn't registered as a marble at first. Its shape was also sort of weird, with a little bump at one end.
That's
My
some stuff.
Yeah, my landlord seemed unbothered for the most part, and he told me to call him if he heard anything else. I went inside and headed to my office to see if I could figure out anything about this marble that somehow made its way into my ceiling. I had nothing to go on, and in short, I didn't really learn much, but I figured out it was a bump. But I figured out the bump on the marble. I think apparently in the early 1900s they made marbles by hand and cut them with big metal scissors, which would mean the marble is probably really old. Anyway, now I have a decrepit old shoe and a marble sitting on my dresser. I guess it's the new normal.
Oh.
And then he has a long break.
They're
come
so
back.
bloody old, both of them, though.
Yeah. And now my thing stopped loading.
Do you want me to read?
Yeah, go on then.
There wasn't much to say for the most part. I wasn't sleeping well and I was having weird dreams, but they were vague and hard to describe. I'm sleepy all day long and I've been getting sudden bouts of dizziness. I chalked it up to always having earbuds crammed in. I made the mental note to get my ears checked. Other than that, things were pretty quiet. I sort of fooled myself into thinking that finding these items in the attic somehow ended all of this. Not that that would make much sense. But last week something started to happen. Late on Wednesday, I woke up with a start and something felt strange, like something had just been watching me. I turned the light on, but I was alone. Still, there's this tangible feeling of badness. Everything felt wrong, sort of like when you have the flu and you wake up at night and can't really tell where you are for a minute. It was a feeling I'm used to. It always accompanies David. People tweet at me a lot saying that he might just need help, but I'm certain that's not the case. Every time he shows up, I feel a palpable sense of malice. There's what felt like that night, malice, dread, but still I was alone, and I was so tired, I wound up just going back to sleep. I've been so exhausted recently, I can barely function. The next night, the same thing happened. I woke up suddenly feeling like I had just missed seeing something, like a candle had just gone out, and I could smell it. I thought about using the pet cam from the living room to monitor my bedroom while I slept, but the cord was too short to get the camera high enough to see the entire room, so I improvised. I downloaded an app that takes a photo every 60 seconds and I set my phone on top of a bookcase. It's about 7 feet tall, So I had a pretty good view of the room, and then I went to sleep. Just like before, I jolted awake hours later, feeling the same unease. I turned on the light and hurried out of bed to get my phone from the bookcase. There were probably 350 photos to scroll through. The vast majority of them were me sleeping in an empty room. It's sort of dark, but you can see me sleeping. I'd left a couple of night lights on just in case anything showed up, but for the few hundred or so photos, it was just me in an empty room. And then he's just got a picture of literally what he just said, just his empty room. I mean, I don't see anything in it. Then suddenly he was there, standing at the chair, at the foot of the bed, staring at me. Yeah, and then it's just the same picture, but David's there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is ugly as well. Like, it's very uncomfortable. It's like in between. I don't know. It's not quite like a doll. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, it's doll-like, but it just feels like almost paper-like as well.
It's horrible, is what it is.
In the next photo, from a minute later, he seems to just be staring straight up at the ceiling. Just staring. Oh, yeah, and then he's got his arms out and he's just staring upwards. Same photo. Then he appears to collapse on the chair. The next dozen photos are all the same. He's completely lifeless. At first, I thought he was dead, which obviously doesn't make any sense. I looked over to the chair, half expecting him to still be there, but it was empty. So it's just him, like, flopped front-facing down.
Like he's crawling off the chair.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But then in the next photo, he's gone. The room is totally empty again. He's gone in the next several photos too. I figured maybe that was it, but I kept swiping through the photos. About 15 photos later, he was back, standing next to the bed. It was just like the last time I saw him. Wait, where is he? I don't see him in that one.
No, I don't see him. Anyway.
That's when my heart started to race. I didn't want to look at the rest of the photos, but I knew I had to. I swiped to the next photo, and my heart sank in my stomach. He was on the bed, inches from me, staring down at me sleeping. Yeah, so there's just him standing over. Yeah, that's gross.
Kind of makes me just
He's
want to
just
grab him.
staring. Yeah. He looks like a toddler in that one.
Yeah,
He
like
looks
pretending
less
you're
like a
asleep
doll.
and then all of a sudden you wake up and you grab his legs.
Ugh.
You're not going anywhere, David.
Yeet him into the wall.
Yeah.
The
Dent
next
the other
one.
side of his head.
Dent the other side. There you go, 2 dents.
Yeah.
In the next one was worse. In the photo, he's staring right at the camera. Yeah, like he's acknowledging that the camera exists. If he's from Victorian times, surely he wouldn't know what it is. After that,
Yeah.
there's seemingly nothing. He disappears again, and the rest of the scroll is just me alone in the room. That is until the last photo. Ooh, okay, so here's the final photo. And it's like close up of his head, and you can see like a little bit of deformity. But it's like, you can't see his eyes or anything. But it's like his hair. And yeah, I guess that's his ear.
Yeah, that would be his.
Is that like
left?
the back? And he's like facing him?
No, he's the other way. He's facing the camera.
Yeah.
So he's looking underneath the camera. So that'll be the top of his left ear.
Yeah, but it looks deformed. The hair looks so realistic. Like you know how a corpse's hair would look if it's still growing on the body. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Because hair will continue to grow, so it grows kind of scraggly, but you can still see the scalp. That's how it looks.
Yeah, it's dying body hair.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words. That malformed ear, that stringy hair. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I looked all over my room, but I couldn't find anything. And honestly, I've been too exhausted. I didn't know how to process it. Even now, all I want to do is just go to sleep. Hey everyone, I'll be gone for the next week, visiting family back in Montana for the holidays. It'll be nice to get away from all this for a bit. Thanks for your kind words lately, and I'll see you when I get back. He's acting remarkably well for this. But to be fair, if he is visiting, I would be gone as well. Like, I'd be like, alright, I'm off, see ya. But he hung around for a while, because that was December the 13th, and then December 20th he decides to go away. I would not be in that same apartment. No way.
Yeah.
So I've been away in the city for a couple of weeks. I went home to Montana for the holiday. I almost immediately started to feel better. Less tired, less foggy. Up until now, I haven't really entertained the thought of moving, thinking that David would probably follow me wherever I go. But did he follow you to Montana?
Maybe.
When I left Montana, everything seemed to improve. Like maybe David wouldn't follow me after all. Maybe he was tied to the house, not me. Being home felt safer. I managed to relax a little bit. I even started browsing listings for new apartments back in New York. The last thing I wanted to do was move in the middle of winter, but after the past few months, it seemed like it might be worth it. I felt like there might be a way out. But after a few days, I started to feel strange again. One night, I got up in the bathroom and I stood in there in the dark. I couldn't help feeling that there was something moving outside the bathroom window. The bathroom looks out into the backyard, and it was pitch black. I could barely see anything, but it's Montana and there are animals passing through all the time. Sure enough, in the morning, I found animal tracks through the snow. I don't know the specific animal. Deer? Elk? So, yeah, there's just a track. Well...
Yeah.
I don't know if I would even say that's animal tracks, would you? It just looks...
It just looks like the way the snow's landed.
Yeah. The next night, the same thing happened. I got up in the middle of the night and thought I saw movement in the blackness outside. This time I stood at the window and gazed out, straining my eyes to see, waiting for them to adjust to the night. For a long time, I stared out into the snowy darkness, but I just couldn't see any movement. Then, just as I was about to turn away, I saw something lurch off the right and disappear from view. Again, it was too dark to make out the animal, but it could have been anything. Maybe a coyote or something. In the morning, as I was getting out of the shower, I glanced out the window and noticed tracks behind the garage. Okay, so those are tracks.
Yeah, those are
But
tracks.
they're quite small as well.
Yeah, they're like little baby steps.
Yeah, they don't look like an animal because they look like 2 feet rather than 4.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what they were from the bathroom, so I got dressed. I put on my coat and I went outside. When I got up close, my heart practically stopped. They weren't tracks, they were footprints. Really small footprints. Yeah, like 100%. They're a child's footprints. I followed them across the backyard, but they disappeared into the ditch out back. I stood there in the snow, not knowing what to do. What could I do? Call the cops and tell them I found footprints in the snow? What? Maybe it's worth doing, because what if there's just like a lost toddler walking around, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
The last couple of nights I was too scared to leave my room. If it had been David out there in the snow, it meant that he could follow me anywhere. No matter where I moved, he could find me. I felt helpless. I flew back to New York on the day after Christmas. Back in my apartment, it seemed like everything was at square one again. I tried everything I could think of. I've saged my apartment. I've hired a medium. Nothing has worked. And worse, I still feel him at night, watching me from different corners of the room, always getting closer, and waking up right before something happens. For the past few nights, I've been using that app that takes photos every couple of minutes, but nothing has shown up. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to work anymore, but I've left it running just in case. It's picked up absolutely nothing, save for one thing from last night. Then he was hovering above my head, staring down at me, his mouth moving faster than it should be. I couldn't move, I could only look up at him. Last night was particularly bad. I felt sick, I had nightmares all night. I dreamed that David was hovering in the corner of the ceiling, far off the ground. He was mouthing something, but I couldn't hear any words. Suddenly, he plummeted downwards, and I felt a huge pressure crash into my chest. I woke up gasping. The wind completely knocked out of me. I sat up, I looked around frantically, heaving for air, but there was nothing. When I caught my breath, I retrieved my phone from the dresser. The photo roll showed nothing of note, save for one last photo, taken just a moment before. And it's just...
Ah!
him falling down.
Like falling from the ceiling.
He's giving him a hug.
Yeah.
That's weird though, does he not feel like that? I don't know.
It's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss here. I just don't know what. I just don't know. Sorry for the long delay. Honestly, I wasn't sure where I was going to tweet again. After everything that happened a couple weeks ago, everything stopped. Well, sort of. I wasn't having dreams anymore and I was feeling better. I was sleeping through the night again. Actually, I was feeling great, I still do. But things have been sort of weird too. It's hard to explain. I'll try, but I don't know any of it. I don't know if any of it makes sense. Basically, as good as things have been for the past couple of weeks, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. Like, I've been sleeping totally fine, and I have lots of energy throughout the day, but sometimes I seem to lose time, I guess. Like, I'll look up at the clock and realise a whole hour has gone by and I don't remember any of it. That's a regular occurrence when you have ADHD.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I'll mishear someone and ask them to repeat what they said. Also, something that happens when you have ADHD. Yeah. But they'll say they didn't say anything. Little stuff like that. But after what I've been through, that's not really a big deal. Despite that, I felt ready to put it all behind me. So on Sunday, I opened up Twitter intending to update you all with that it was over, or at least I thought so. I just want things to go back the way they were, and it seemed like they had. I was writing something to that effect when I noticed I had way more notifications than usual. I swiped to my mentions and saw that everyone was posting to me about something I'd posted to my Instagram story the day before, saying they saw something weird. The stories are expired now, but I have screenshots and I don't know how to explain it. Long story short, I went to brunch on Saturday with a friend. I posted a few photos of the story and they were fairly unremarkable. Here's the first two I posted, totally dumb and normal. So he's got a picture of his friend and getting food, and the food looks really good as well. They're totally boring brunch photos. I posted one more photo of me and my friend before leaving, and that was that. But the next day I had a zillion messages about the third photo I posted. People had taken screenshots and sent them to me. And this was what somehow got uploaded to my Instagram story. Ooh, so it's like a glitched version of the photo.
Yeah.
But you can see a weird eye in it, like over his eye, over Adam's eye.
Like an overlaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's creepy. Okay. I have no clue what happened. I looked perfectly fine on my photo when I uploaded it. I'd say it was a glitch, but I can't make sense of what's happening with my face. Maybe I can. I know what it looks like, what it probably is, but I don't know if I care anymore. I really just want things to be normal again and feel normal enough right now. I don't know. I guess I'll keep you updated if something else happens. Maybe I can. I know what it looks like. What it probably is. But I don't know if I care anymore. I really just want things... Oh wait, has he reposted that? Oh, that was up twice for me. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
And then he just posted a video of his cat.
Oh yeah. Cat meowing at the door
Meowing
again.
at the door again, yeah.
Yeah, and then turning around to look at the camera.
Yeah. Meowing at the camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's creepy.
Oh, now he's facing us. Okay.
Oh, then his
He
tweets
didn't
get
say
weird.
anything. Everything
No.
is fine.
Yeah, everything is fine.
Please don't worry about me. I'm okay and everything will be like it was before. He posted another video of the cat. Just meowing at the door again.
Yeah. Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
The video of the cat after being saying, please don't worry about me, I'm okay, and everything, it will be like before. Video of a cat staring and meowing. And then nothing
Yeah, he's
from the 14th of Feb until the 12th of March that says, for everyone asking if I'm alive, I'm doing okay. It's been pretty quiet around here lately, and I've been trying to focus on work. Of course, I'll keep you updated if anything strange happens, but for now, I'm staying busy with drawing and other projects. And then that's it.
That was it.
No more. No more after that.
Yeah.
So what do you think Dear David is?
An ARG.
Yeah. He's an AI. I don't know, it's weird. I mean, I think they I think they debunked this as just like a
An ARG.
like a promotional thing.
Oh, for his work.
Yeah, because he sold the rights for Dear David to make a film.
Oh.
Um, maybe it's just, um, you know,
Has he spoke
he
about
was
anything of it since?
no, well, he changed his Twitter.
Yeah, it's just this
He
art
changed his
stuff
Twitter
now.
handle. Yeah, so I think maybe it was like him trying to do some creative writing, put it out, you know. Yeah, because there's Dear David, a man is haunted by a ghost of a boy called David who's trying to kill him, and it's got no release date yet, but it was meant to be in production from January 2012, I think it was.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just that. But as a creepypasta story, the whole thing is kind of terrifying. I think, anyway.
Yeah, it looks like he's in a different apartment now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine being haunted by, or like followed around by a little dented-headed Victorian boy that leaves his shoes in your loft.
I'm still I don't know if this is just me in general. I still find it weird that the whole crawl space thing that's completely inaccessible. You'd have to get a super long, like 8-foot ladder for that to get up in there.
It's weird, isn't it?
That is weird.
But yeah, hope you've enjoyed listening about Dear David. Tell us what you think Dear David might be to you. Katie, tell them how they can do that and other stuff as well.
Well, when the YouTube video is up, you can put it in the comments, or you can message me on Twitter or Instagram, or join the Discord. Yeah, there's a few different options.
Where can they follow you, Katie? Where can they see you? Where can they watch you?
Follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. So I'm Skeletalk on most stuff, but Skeletalk_art on Twitter and Instagram because my username was taken. But yeah, so you can find me on those and to follow. But yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Well, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.